let's go to talk today. I just remind is Lukas Klingsbo is one of the organizer Flutter&Friends conference, and you're welcome to talk. And I have several questions to ask about this conference. I was like to attend on conference like the last 2 years. It was a really amazing events. I very enjoy, and it's very different from another conferences. And first question, can you tell some word about how this idea like born? Do you remember?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and yeah, thanks for having me here too. It's great to be in having a little chat now when it's only a week left until the conference. It's great. Everything is like settling down. It's super. And yeah, how the conference was born was that we have a Flutter meetup group in Stockholm, and one of the guys from that group called Alec, he used to organize a conference called Swift and Fika, so like more for the iOS developers a long time ago. And then since like I'm quite a well-known face for the Flutter community in Sweden, and also have organized some things before, he wanted to like join up forces with me and create the conference, and that's when we started working on the concept Flutter&Friends. And we built on, they also had a little bit of this a social aspect on the conference he organized before, but we just took it one step further to really have that as one of the core things of the conference. And that was, we're running the 3rd year of Flutter&Friends now, I think.
Yeah, it's some kind of like evolution from meetups to something more bigger. Okay, I have just like one like additional moments, one questions. I'm interested in the Flutter in some last several years, and I remember like to several meetups here in Stockholm, to meet Flutter groups, but to be honest, in last year it's not so very active. Can you tell some word?
So since the meetup group is run by Victor mostly, who is the CEO of ServerPod, and they have been so busy with just doing ServerPod stuff this year, I think that is the main reason why there haven't been any Flutter meetups for a long time. There should probably be some more organizers inside of that group so that there can be more people running it when others are busy. But yeah, that's definitely the reason.
Yeah, I see. It's like a lot of cool stuff happen around like to ServerPod, and they just grows rapidly. And I can imagine how much time it's required to do all this stuff. Okay, let's go. And like to set next moment, what I was wondering about last conference is to very focus on the community. Why this social aspect is some very important, especially in context of the Flutter?
Yeah, so I think in the context of Flutter, it's not more important than anywhere else, but we really wanted to stand out and not feel like this just corporate conference where both that it is only mainly focused on corporations, because that's where the big conferences get most of their money from, like from bigger sponsors and stuff. But since all of us have quite a solid background in open source, the community is very important in there too. And also when coming to a conference, especially if you come alone, it can be kind of hard to start to mingle with people, but if we have in the first day, where you have lots of social activities where you're divided up into groups, then you come into a natural smaller group where you can just talk about anything, and obviously it will be a lot of Flutter discussions too. And then after you have had these social activities, then you have some natural people to talk to at the conference already when it starts. It will feel a lot less scary if you have social anxiety or anything like that, and it just makes a great feeling of the whole conference. I think that much more friendly, the friend in Flutter&Friends.
Yeah, I can just like to approve the like to tell is true, because it's first social days is some very important. You just like to make your friends, and when you goes to like to main conference day, it's just like to okay, like you see a lot of like to not like to friends from like to previous day, and you feel it's like more comfortable. It's I think it's some kind of cherry of this
Yeah,
conference.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then also like then you all of a sudden maybe you have kayaked with one of the like with the Remy or Felix, or like you've done some crazy other social activity with some people that are like really the top talents within the Flutter sphere, which is quite cool to like know them on more of a personal level than just using their packages and so on.
Yeah. It's very good, simple, just like to access to some kind of I don't know, some big names in Flutter. They just develop on the compiler or something like this, but just
exactly.
like to a regular like to person. It's amazing. Okay, thanks for this. And some question about like to your organized experience to be like to speakers on conference or just attendee. It's one another feeling, but it's more hard to be organizer. What is the hardest moment be organizer of conference, like a big conference, like to international conference? What is the hardest moment?
Yeah, I think so. The first year it was only me and Alec organizing it, and then we were like, wow, this is a lot of things to do. And last year we were me, Alec, and a guy called Johannes organizing it. And it's like then we had all of the structure from the previous year, and then we also had a third person. So then it went a little bit easier. And then this year we are actually 5 people. We're also Daria and Elias, but also Alec and Johannes. They have they've become fathers this year, so they're quite busy with their kids.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing is just it's obviously a lot to do, but it's like all these small things that you can't forget. There's like a million different small things that you have to organize and remember. So especially the first year, then we had so much stuff to do, like the last week of things that we just came up, oh, we have forgotten this, have to fix this and that. So like the big things, you know that they will take like a lot of time, and but you never forget about those ones. But all of the million small things that you have to remember, I think those are definitely the hardest thing when organizing something like this.
Yeah, I see. Okay, in other words, it's like to last in 3 conference, number of organizers increase. And do you have some special additional events or activity for this year, because like organizers number increased? Do you have some additional activities?
The activities are fairly similar. They're changing a little bit, especially like the speakers dinner this year. So that is a dinner where the speakers and the sponsors get to go to. We're organizing that at Google this year, which will be quite fun. And that is at the same time as a concept called Dinner with Strangers is for the rest of the attendees, where they're just mixed up into groups and with 8 people in each group, and they get to go out to a random restaurant and have dinner with them. But no, we have pretty much held the same structure as we've had all year. So we have just like we have a feedback form after each year, and we're trying to just fix things that people didn't like about the conference earlier, and then keep things that people liked. But there's nothing like big structural change that has happened.
Okay. In other words, you just like to solidify it's make more all like to solid spread activities and through the organize. Okay, I see. Just again about like to conference. It will be like a third conference in raw. Do you have some kind of tendency, positive, negative, about like to people who visit conference, like to who is a speaker, and some dynamic, and how we can explain these trends?
So for our call for papers this year, I think we had around 200 people that wanted to speak at Flutter&Friends. I don't remember exactly the number. Maybe it was 250, maybe it was 180. I don't remember. And that was pretty similar to last year. And from the first year to the second year, we grew a lot as a conference. But I think for this year, we will stay pretty much the same as last year. We would probably have grown a lot if it wasn't for another Flutter conference organizing themselves in the same month as us. So a lot of people get 2 conferences to choose from in September, which which makes it harder.
Yeah, it's some kind of competition. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. It's a very different type of conferences. So they will, a lot of people will probably go to both. Like I will go to both, for example, but a lot of people don't have time to go to 2 conferences in 1 month with the work and everything.
Okay, I see. Okay, it's some question about badges. Every conference is slightly cool badges you look to prepare. What some surprise you prepare for this year? For this year.
So last year we started with this really cool badge which has the built-in LED lights and an NFC sticker on the backside and made in this acrylic plastic. So it was really cool on the after party. Just everyone was their badges were shining. And this year we went next level, and if we don't have a video on this later, I will just explain what we're looking at. So the first we went through this iteration. Yep. This is a badge that is with an e-ink screen, and you update the content of it with the NFC directly on it. And then we have gone through so many iterations of badges like this year. We have had this one, which was a little bit of a smaller NFC or e-ink screen, but without any color too. And then we have these ones. But now we have finally settled on this awesome badge. And we actually got 400 of them here yesterday. So